excellent. Distinguished guests, the President of the University, faculty, staff, students, and those gathered virtually, I want to welcome everyone to Mary Baldwin Murphy Deming College of Health Sciences White Coat Ceremony. 3 months ago, we were still uncertain any in-person celebration would be feasible. COVID had mutated into Omicron, and we were facing higher cases and hospitalizations than we had seen in the past 2 years. But thankfully, we are here today. Unfortunately, the latest Omicron variant has seen a little bit of uptick and has come to town. So for the friends and the family who are joining us online, I wish that you are well, and I wish you had been here with us, but we're glad that you're safe. And then currently the recommendation from the university is that masks are recommended. I leave it up to you to make your choice. The White Coat Ceremony is a rite of passage. During the first week of classes, these students came forward and received their first white coat. It was short. It represented the beginning as healthcare professionals. It was starched and stiff. It was fashionable, but it was not comfortable yet. These students practiced their physical exams on each other with these coats on. They performed numerous, some say too many, practical exams with these on. Then they lived in these coats practically every day for the past year, obtaining histories, performing exams, and counseling patients. This short coat has been washed numerous times, at least I hope so. It has become a regular part of their identity. Now, 2.5 years later, they are ready to receive another coat, a longer coat, one that recognizes their hard work and achievements, but it is still a white coat, an outward symbol of their dedication to competent and compassionate care. It is also a signal to other healthcare providers, their colleagues who will look to them for knowledge and skill. They will know that these individuals will be reliable, respectful, ethical, and collaborative. This coat represents their commitment to being healthcare professionals. To the class of 2022, today is a major milestone on your journey. You have worked incredibly hard to get here, and we rejoice in your accomplishment. You have done so in the middle of a pandemic, no less. I have a habit of naming each class. The current first years, who are up and around in the building, still studying, I think, I have called them the class of hope. Many of them finished college virtually and had their jobs and plans muted during the middle of a pandemic. But now they see a brighter future, fully vaccinated and boosted. The second year cohort that's about to start their clinical year, that are right chasing your heels, they're the class of faith. They decided to uproot their lives and apply to PA school in the middle of a pandemic before vaccines were available. They moved to Fishersville, never having stepped foot in this building. They had faith in their futures and their classmates in this program. But you, the class of 2022, you're the class of resilience. You started school in person, got bumped online. You had to juggle didactic changes that would make anyone's head spin. In person, online, hybrid, masked, pods, you've endured it all. The rules kept changing as the rates kept going up and down. And yet we held you to the exact same high standard that we did every class. You also stepped up as a group and helped vaccinate and test the community. You were recognized as significant members of this healthcare community before you even set foot in a hospital. You should be very proud of yourselves. Then you started your clinical year with constant adjustments because of breakthrough cases and Omicron surges. How many times have you finished a shift at work and seen the strap marks on your face from wearing an N95 too long? Or how many masks are in your passenger seat of your car? You have faced all of these challenges staying true to your vision and mission of becoming a PA. You have been incredible. You have been resilient. This evening, we celebrate your resilience with our White Coat Ceremony. I wanted to recognize our distinguished guests today, starting with President Fox. Thank you for attending today's ceremony with all of the things going on this week, graduation weekend. Your support of Murphy Deming and the PA program in particular is greatly appreciated. We welcome as well Gabby McCree from the Board of Trustees, Provost Willingham, Vice President Jeffries, Vice President Grubel, Dr. Schoaf, and Associate Dean Stevens. We are overjoyed that you have chosen to celebrate with us today. I want to welcome Dr. Lisa Schoaf, our dean, to the podium in just a moment. Sadly, she has decided to retire. We will be greatly missed. She is a founding faculty member of this college and a true colleague of mine, and I greatly appreciate her wisdom and guidance. And so I've asked her to offer a brief welcome this evening.
You can see what I have to do after following Dr. Didak. It's my pleasure to welcome each of you to Murphy-Deming College of Health Sciences and to be able to share this wonderful celebration with the class of 2022 PA graduates, their faculty, and wonderful colleagues, as well as family and friends. I'll echo Dr. Didak that we're so thrilled that we're actually here in the building able to have this type of celebration again. We've really missed it, and I know the students have as well. I'm just really, really proud of all of you and excited. And, you know, as I was, I'll make just one statement. As I was thinking about I'm retiring at the end of December after 30 years in the academic healthcare world. I'm a physical therapist by education in healthcare. And just to see everything that's changed over the years and how much that's changed in our profession of PT, how much has changed in the PA profession. If you go back and look at our two histories, they're quite similar, actually, how we've come through our time over the last 40 years. And so I'm just excited for each of you and what the future holds and all of the changes that you will see in your career, as I've seen in my over 40 years as a physical therapist. So best of luck to each of you. Thank all of you for being here, and we are excited that you're here to share the weekend with us. So best wishes, and I'll turn it over to
you. It's now my pleasure to acknowledge the faculty today. They are passionate, creative, and inspiring individuals. Then they had to work incredibly hard to be all those things during a pandemic. The ability to convert to an online model overnight was amazing. To convert back to a modified classroom experience was Herculean. And to have all of our students stay in person for every rotation was nothing close to a miracle. If you thought the students were stressed out by the pandemic, the faculty were equally so, and also were doing their clinical work at the same time. At times it felt like we were living out a Lemony Snicket series of unfortunate events, actually. I cannot thank these individuals enough for their inspiration and hard work. Please stand and remain standing as I call your names. It starts with Dr. Ben Farley, our medical director. Then there is our director of clinical education, Mrs. Whit Warman. Our director of didactic education, Ms. Jennifer Hunt. Our retired Director of Academic Education, Mr. Don Salamini. And our core foundation faculty, Miss Emily Green, Miss Megan Adey, and Miss Caitlin Powers. Somewhere is our clinical assistant, Alicia Lawhorn. But let's be honest, the person that needs the greatest acknowledgement and praise is Ms. Donna Blitz. I love doing that to her. It always makes her cry. Thank you very much. I would like to ask the class president and vice president to stand and receive our thanks. Mr. Jeremy Stinson served as class president, and Ms. Sophia Cook served as vice president. Thank you both for your service to your classmates and to the school. Mr. Stinson has prepared a few remarks for this time.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Jeremy Stenson, and like Dr. Dudek said, I am the class of 2022 student body president. And it's been a real privilege being here, and I really thank everyone for the privilege of giving me a chance to come up here and speak tonight. Like Dr. Dudek said, PA school really has been a trial of resilience, and I have to say, I'm really proud of all of you, and I'm proud to be a classmate of each one of you. It really was only 3 months in to our class from starting school when we were forced to go online due to COVID in March 2020. It was a challenging time for us as we all continued our classes virtually without missing a beat. This was no small feat, and it does not go unrecognized work that the faculty put in to make sure we did not fall behind. In fact, not one of our cohort or the class ahead of us was forced to graduate late, and we're all here graduating thanks to your hard work. Not only that, but we were actually one of the first PA programs back fully in person by June of that year. Well, there were actually other programs in the state and throughout the country that continued online much longer after that, and I know that's something we all appreciate. Even though the time we did spend online, they worked really hard to make sure we had the best education. They knew that the best thing was to get us back in person, and they worked really hard at that. At this program, we do have a dedicated, passionate faculty that will stop at nothing to make sure we receive the best of an education as possible. With that said, I would really like to make some special recognition or remarks to them. Professor Jennifer Hunt, without your dedication to teaching us, I know I personally would not be the clinician I am today. And I know for every time I use my stethoscope or put my hands on a patient, I hear your voice guiding me and reminding me not to listen to breath sounds through their shirt. Dr. Farley, thank you for always being sure we're receiving the best medical education as possible and always being a fun presence in the classroom. We always enjoyed you. Professor Emily Green, your excellent teaching in pharmacology and our clinical skills, I know will continue to guide all of us in our clinical practice. And thank you for always being there to listen to us. I know personally when we're going through the most difficult parts of PA school, you were always somebody that we could come to and listen to. And I know when I was really struggling and felt like it wasn't something I could go through with and finish school, she was there for me. And I know that's not an experience that I had alone. I know that's the same for many of us in the class. Professor Salamini, what can I say? We all love you. Thank you for what you did for us in the beginning, and I hope it wasn't our class personally that drove you to retirement. Dr. Dudek, you took on an impossible task in an unpredictable time when we were suddenly left without a program director in front of us. You stepped up and you gave us the best you could to make sure that we were the best we can be. And on behalf of the class of 2022, I would like to thank you. Of course, Professor Warman, Alicia, always guiding us and making sure that we were getting to our rotations and setting up some really wonderful clinical experiences. Professor Powers and Professor 80, I know your name. You just started right when we were going out on rotations, so we like you too, but we didn't get a good chance. We didn't get a good chance to meet you, but. And of course, Donna, who is back there sitting now, so I can't make eye contact with her. Honestly, words can't express what you mean to our class. From day one, you have been kind and supporting presence to all of us. I always knew whenever I had no idea what was going on, I could count on you to help me out. Which includes multiple times today and yesterday. We love you, and congratulations on your upcoming retirement. Of course, PA school would not have been the same experience without our classmates. I'm thankful for each one of you and the camaraderie we built by surviving PA school together. We studied together, lived together, cried together, celebrated together, woo-woo. And even 2 of our class are getting married to each other. The relationships we built here will be lifelong, and I can't wait to see the great things everyone does. And of course, personally, since I'm up here, I get the chance to personally thank a few people. I have to thank my friends Caitlin, Porter Grace, Carolyn, of course, Phil. You're some of my very best friends, and I know I couldn't be where I am today without your support. Also, thank you, Sophie, of course, for being my vice president. Everybody knows that I would be completely lost without your help doing all of this stuff. Surviving PA school does not happen alone. And even though it seems like we're studying even though it doesn't seem like it when we're studying for 5 different exams at once, and just going crazy with the stresses of PA school, we do have lives and people outside of PA school who are supporting us. Our partners, family, and friends who supported our dreams from the beginning and well before we got into PA school. While they might not have always known or really understood what we were studying, or why we had to make them sit still for 3 hours to practice our musculoskeletal special tests, they were always there to support us. And honestly, with that, I also have to thank the pets, stuffed animals, Raggedy Ann dolls, pink chimpanzees, and I think I'm forgetting a few other things. I know a couple cats got splints, and my dog, while we're online and we're trying to practice our physical exam skills, so I have to thank them too. And I do have to also personally thank my wife, who during a really challenging time was my rock and supported me, and I do really appreciate that, Louisa. I love you. And now, here we are. The most challenging 27 months of our lives so far are over. I really can't wait to see what the future holds for us. Class of 2022, we did it.
Virginia Academy of Physician Assistants used to come every year and would be a part of this ceremony, but during the middle of the pandemic, they didn't, and we were virtual. But this year, we're very happy to have a representative back this year. I have the pleasure of introducing Marie Veldhuizen from the Virginia Academy of Physician Assistants. I'll brag on her for a moment. She was a great student of mine back at JMU, and she is currently serving as the VAPA treasurer and comes with a greeting for our graduates.
My name is Marie Veldhuizen. I actually was a student of Dr. Duduk's JMU not too long ago, but I'm actually also from this area, from Stanton, so it's kind of interesting coming back to kind of my hometown and seeing a familiar face. I am currently a physician assistant in emergency medicine. I am the VAPA treasurer, also on the board for VAPA. VAPA is the Virginia Academy of Physician Assistants. I would first like to congratulate everybody for their hard work, their dedication, their achievement, and I want to welcome you to the PA profession. Good job. VAPA is a proud supporter of Virginia PA students and provides PA students all over Virginia with their first long white coat. I encourage you to continue your memberships into VAPA and become involved in promoting our profession. VAPA is committed to ensuring PAs work at the top of their education, training, and experience. Over the past several years, VAPA has had several legislative and regulatory achievements. Our biggest in 2019 Virginia General Assembly session, when we eliminated the term supervision and established a patient care team model. This was pivotal in the growth of our profession. In 2022, just this year, we passed a bill which allows PA medical examiners to practice without a practice agreement and PAs practicing in ortho to use fluoroscopy. PAs were also added to the list of hospice personnel who may be part of a medically directed interdisciplinary team. We still have a lot of work to do, and we definitely need your help. VAPA has an aggressive agenda moving forward, and your membership ensures that you are part of these changes. I cannot stress the importance enough of supporting the advancement of our profession. If you have any questions about VAPA or any of the committees, feel free to reach out to me. Dr. Deduck has my information. We also have a summer conference that I would encourage you guys to go to. It's in Virginia Beach, Marriott, in July, and registration is open. And that is all I have. Thank you, and congratulations and best of luck.
The moment is upon us, the white coat presentation. I want to start with some housekeeping. I'll ask you, we'll stand up one row at a time. Let's try to make sure we stay in alphabetical order. And we're going to curl around to the back corner and then come up this side aisle. You'll get your coat here. The photographer is going to be over there, so make sure you pivot for the photographer, and then you'll head back to your seats. Please, front row, rise.
All right, I think we've got everyone in order. Good evening, everybody. I'm going to take this off. Before I announce our graduates, I want to take a very brief moment to give a special thanks to all of the families and loved ones who are here with us tonight and those who can't be here. PA students always need the support of their loved ones to endure the high-stress environment of PA school. But this class in particular, your loved ones have stepped up to support you. As the instructor of the majority of these graduates' lab courses, I'm especially grateful to all of you who participated in our virtual labs and who sat there and acted as patients for them as they were learning all of their hands-on skills to help them become the clinicians they are today. We couldn't have done what we did, keeping them on track and getting them back without all of your support. So graduates, would you take a moment to give your families and loved ones a round of applause? All right, and now the moment we've all been waiting for. Justin Baker. Philip Bly. Kristen Bruce. Porter Grace Clark. Sophia Cook. Benjamin Cutchins. Kelly Flamon. Just testing my germophobia right now. All right. Delaney Garris. Benjamin Hensel. Laura Edita. Paul Kwan. Sabina Lazar. Emma Letts. Abigail Manger. Carly Morris. Michaela Price. Rachel Ruller. Caitlin Shepley. Richard Skillen, who's not with us today. Andrew Stark. Jeremiah Stinson. McKenna Stonick. Vicky Seaton. Alan Upchurch, who's also not able to be with us tonight. Matthew Vook. Madison Ward. Laura Wolford. Always at the end of the alphabet. Alexis Yannon. Congratulations, class of 22.
You guys look good. All right, I would like to ask the students to stand, please, and I would like to ask Professor Warman to come forward and lead us in the recitation of the PA professional oath.
We're going to recite the PA oath. Ready? I pledge to perform the following duties with honesty and dedication. I will hold as my primary responsibility the health, safety, welfare, and dignity of all human beings. I will uphold the tenets of patient autonomy, beneficence, justice. Promote the value of diversity. I will treat equally all persons who seek my care. I will hold in confidence the information shared in the course of practicing medicine. I will assess my personal capabilities and limitations, striving always to improve my medical practice. I will actively seek to expand my knowledge and skills, keeping abreast of advances in medicine. I will work with other members of the healthcare team to provide compassionate and effective care of patients. I will use my knowledge and experience to an improved community. I will respect my professional relationship with the physician. I will share and expand knowledge within the profession. These duties are pledged with sincerity and upon my honor.
At this moment, Emily Green and I have decided to share a few reflections with you guys. You'll be glad to know mine are very brief. To the graduating students, if I had to leave you with a few parting words that I want you to always remember, what do you think they would be? Yeah. So to fill you in, it's not what you think it is, it's what you know it's not. Think locally, regionally, globally, function, function, function. Actually, no, that's not what I want you to remember. Those are already etched into your subconscious that you'll never be able to get out, so I'm good about that. You have spent the past several years meeting everyone else's standards, tests, practical exams, end-of-rotation exams, OSCEs. You have followed your preceptor's treatment plans. You're about to measure yourself with the final test, the boards, everyone else's standards. But going forward, with your lovely long white coats, you will have to meet your own standards. The patients will be yours, the orders will be yours, the labs and x-rays will be yours, the patient expectations and education will be yours. You may spend some sleepless nights looking at the bedroom ceiling, wondered, should I have ordered a D-dimer on that patient? Should I have checked those lymph nodes? I wonder if those labs are back yet. You will spend a lot of sleepless nights going forward. You will feel a level of responsibility beyond anything you've experienced so far. Heavy are the shoulders that wear a long white coat. Please know that you are prepared. You have the knowledge and skills. Your preceptors believe you are ready. We, the faculty, believe you are ready. Please enter this moment willing to work hard and be open for incredible growth. I asked you on the first day of orientation, what makes a good PA student? Confident vulnerability and vulnerable confidence. And that's what I leave you with today. That is what I want to remind you as you cross this threshold into your careers. Be willing to accept the responsibility that comes with you with this long white coat, and be open to question yourself. Practicing medicine is a humbling and rewarding art. Approach it with the confidence that you are ready and the vulnerability that you have much to learn. Now, Professor Green would like to graciously come up and reflect on a few words as well.
Because what you guys want to do is hear more of my voice in your heads after all of that pharmacology. So, my colleagues, feels really good to say that to you guys. I'd like to ask you to take a trip in a time machine with me to last spring, a time and place that I know none of us want to actually go to. COVID had disrupted schedules, prohibited lab time, basically ruined everything, and it had burned all of us out. And I think I'm speaking to your friends, family, and everyone who's gathered here. So let me tell you, the mood was bleak. And your class wears its heart on its sleeve. And we, as the faculty and staff, were acutely aware of the mood. So we were finishing up clinical skills and procedures. We were arranging extra small group practice for our H&P practicals. This was mandatory extra practice, which everyone loves. It was to make up for the time we'd spent doing virtual learning earlier in your summer semester. So after explaining the activity and sending you all out of the classroom in small groups to go practice, Jen Hunt and I collapsed onto the floor. We were lying on the floor in frustration, exhaustion, and defeat. And then Caitlin Murky Shepley walked back into the classroom. She later told us that seeing us lying on the classroom floor feeling miserable too made her feel a lot better. So I've thought about that interaction a lot. Because it's not every day that a student gets to see not one, but two of her professors lying on the floor feeling sorry for themselves. But it's made me think about perfectionism. Perfectionism plagues all of us. Don't get me wrong, I think there is a benefit of perfectionism in medicine, and you all have a lot of perfectionists in you, and that's why you're here, and that's a good thing. But perfectionism can also lead to anxiety, depression, self-harm, and burnout. So there are three types of perfection I want to talk about today. Self-oriented, where you have an unrealistic expectation of yourself. Other-oriented, having an unrealistic expectation of others. That's why Professor Hunt and I were lying on the floor that day. And then socially prescribed perfectionism, feeling that people and society require you to be perfect. So today, as you all are going out to start your career in medicine, I actually want you to encourage you to reject the idea of perfectionism. And instead, I want to ask you first to be kind to your patients, kind to yourself, because no one cares how much you know until they know how much you care. How many times did you guys hear me say that? One last time. Equally important to being kind, I want you to be safe. I want you to ask questions. I want you to be wrong. I want you to stay humble. I ask you to strive for a culture of compassion and collaboration rather than the typical culture in medicine of competition. And finally, I want you guys to be good. I want you to be really good. And you, the class of 2022, will be.
the program, we're headed into the awards presentation section. As you can see, we give out a lot of awards. Is it because we have a great group of students and faculty? Yep. But we also want to recognize those individuals who have made significant impressions over the past few years. I would like to start by asking Professor Hunt to come forward and present the Didactic Excellence Award winner.
As Dr. Deduk said, I have the honor of presenting the Didactic Excellence Award to the student who completed the academic phase of the program at the top of her class. This student achieved an almost unheard of 4.0 throughout the entire academic phase. They did this while also volunteering routinely with one of the most notable activities of giving COVID vaccines to the inmates at the Middle River County Jail, Regional Jail. This student also excelled as a member of the Challenge Bowl team, which is our medical trivia team, helping lead the team to victory at the Virginia State Competition. They are also known as being the Queen of Kahoot. And in the midst of all of this hard work, she has always kept her cool, even when we, her faculty, were found laying on the ground in the dark. It is my pleasure to present this award to Caitlin Murphy Shepley.
I would like Professor Werman to come forward and present the next award.
So it is my privilege to present the clinical award. And before I do that, I'd like to read some comments about this student that were given by the preceptors. So some of the comments, it's a theme, and you'll catch on to it pretty quickly. Excellent student, absolutely superb, exceptional, excellent performance, always prepared and ready to learn, one of the best PA students I have had, truly wonderful, served as a student leader and was outstanding. Whoever chooses to work for her will be very lucky to have her. That says quite a lot. Will be a great provider, hardworking, enthusiastic, bright, always has a good attitude. It was a pleasure having her as a student, kind, caring professional, team player, and always went out of her way to assist her patients and the office staff. It was a pleasure to have her on service. She will be an excellent PA. So it is my honor to present the Clinical Excellence Award to Caitlin Murphy Shepley.
I would like to have Dr. Farley come forward to present the PA Student of the Year Award.
All right. The PA Student of the Year is decided by the PA Program Director and the PA faculty. The award is given to a student that exemplifies the traits and qualities of an outstanding physician assistant. This year's award is an easygoing, friendly, polite, respectful, and inquisitive person. Not going to give away the gender yet. Who is always willing to help. The recipient was an excellent academic student, graduating in the top ranks of her class. The student reliably helped with class activities and often stayed late to help clean up, even when not asked. They specifically volunteered for multiple COVID screening and vaccination clinics. And by the way, actually, thanks to all of you for all the work you did with all the vaccination clinics, the testing clinics. I mean, you've been a really good benefit to our community, and it's very much appreciated for all that you've done with the clinics. This year's recipient also served as an academic tutor. The recipient was also a member of our Challenge Bowl team, reliably attending practice to help push our A team to reclaim our state title, which, by the way, we have won every year except one, right? Two? Oh my God. Pathetic. Won every year except two. Here are some quotes from some of our clinical faculty regarding this student. This student has been a pleasure to have in the office. The student has a genuine curiosity for the field and has asked questions appropriately throughout the rotation. This student exhibited a significant amount of poise and professionalism during this rotation. They maintained respect for the delicate nature of the patient's difficulties while being direct and not shying away from pointed discussion. Utilized a strong work ethic to complete all at-home assignments. Knowledge base increased throughout the rotation and they seemed to show genuine interest in the field. Was courteous to patients, staff, and other providers, always on time and ready to work. Questions were appropriate and asked in a manner that did not interrupt workflow. This is an outstanding student who is a fast learner and has a great bedside manner. And the best one was just awesome student, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. It is my pleasure to present this year's winner of the PA Student of the Year Award to Benji Hensel.
You can stick around for more photos if you're asking for it. Okay. I would like to have Professor Green come forward and present the Linda Seastead Stanford Award, please.
I have to see if I can find it first, though, right?
I think so. How about right there?
Oh, great. Thank you. Sorry. So it's my pleasure to present the Linda Seastead Stanford Leadership Award. The criteria for this are that the student exhibits exceptional professional behavior, strong clinical reasoning and clinical skills, patient-centered and compassionate care, that they demonstrate motivation to learn, that they show a strong commitment to the profession. This student also happens to have an infectious smile and maybe even a little mischievous at times, and I have never seen her feathers ruffled in any stressful situation. She also won a way better award than this a couple weeks ago by getting engaged to one of her classmates. It's my honor and pleasure to present this award to Abby Manger.
This year I have the honor of presenting the Outstanding Faculty Award. You, the class of 2022, voted. We checked the results twice. I'll let you into a secret. Each faculty member desperately wants to win this award. We strive for excellence just as much as you do as students. This year we have a first-time winner who is greatly deserving of this honor. They are growing in their teaching skills, leadership skills, and just all around blossoming in their role at Murphy Deming. The students love this professor for their commitment and enthusiasm. This year's Outstanding Faculty Award winner is Ms. Jennifer Hunt. I think you made her cry. I'd like to ask Professor Hunt to come back and present the Outstanding Lecturer Award.
Well, thank you guys. I was not expecting that. All right. So our students work their way through an extremely condensed curriculum. Basically, they've chosen to do med school in 2.5 years. And that covers all major body systems. This would not be possible without all of the amazing clinicians in our area who serve as guest lecturers in their clinical practice specialty. This year, our Guest Lecturer of the Year award goes to Dr. Alan Hardy, formerly a member of the Augusta Health Gastroenterology practice and one of the most engaging, thorough, and caring guest lecturers. He unfortunately is not able to be with us today since he recently moved away, but we are very thankful to be able to honor him with this award.
I contacted him and he said, I'm on call. And I'm like, I know. Okay. I would like to have Professor Worman come forward and present our Outstanding Preceptor of the Year Award.
So I really didn't have the chance to welcome everybody, and I want to welcome everybody to the White Coat Ceremony for the class of 22. The students have worked extremely hard to reach this extraordinary milestone. They endured the didactic year and applied their knowledge in the clinical year under the guidance and mentorship of our preceptors, with whom this moment would not have been possible. There are not enough words to express the appreciation we hold for our preceptors. Their expertise, time, and valuable contribution to educating our PA students to success as healthcare providers is immeasurable. Before I present the award, I want to read a few more comments directly from our students. So again, there's another common goal, a common thread through here. Great preceptor teacher, allowed me to see a lot of patients and present. Excellent rotation with a lot of unique opportunities and variety in patients and presentations. Great opportunities, lots of opportunity to work hands-on with the patients. Honest, thoughtful, and constructive feedback. Very professional and treats you as if you are already a working PA. Very approachable, will answer any question you may have. Exceptional preceptor. I have two more I want to read that moved me somewhat. I kind of made excerpts from it. Here is one of them. I look forward to every shift with him, and he pushed me to be the best future provider I could possibly be. That's quite the compliment. I would love to work with him in the future. And here's another excerpt from another student's comment. He very much wants us to learn and succeed. I was very appreciative of his encouragement to be self-motivated to see patients. He made me feel like he instilled a lot of trust in me and did not make me feel like I was, quote unquote, just a student. Another comment, the best preceptor I've had in my rotation so far. He constantly promoted autonomy. I was able to see most of the patients alone, present to him, and receive feedback before we would go in together. I think his promotion of autonomy in this way has made this rotation extremely valuable. He maintained an exemplary professional demeanor when interacting with myself, his colleagues, and difficult patients. I have one more, and then I'll present. Top-tier preceptor. His attention to detail, quality of feedback, and ability to foster my strengths while detecting and addressing my weaknesses has been second to none. His expectations were communicated openly and clearly. He took the time to formally address any questions and help me understand. I'm greatly appreciative for the push he provided me, both in an academic sense as well as expectations of what a real PA's role looks like after graduation. When I made a mistake, he always took the time not to address it, but to back up his reasoning. He pushed me, which helped me instill a sense of responsibility which greatly nurtured a humbled confidence and duty. I'm extremely grateful for what I've learned, and I believe this experience has pushed me more than any other rotation to be prepared for graduations to start my development as a PA. I hope that he never stops taking students, so do I, because it's preceptors like him who play a vital role in students' development. Those are quite some spectacular comments from students. I would second that. So I hope that you were able to visualize and appreciate the students' experience and what they felt under the guidance of this preceptor during their emergency medicine rotation. So it truly is my absolute pleasure and privilege to present the Preceptor of the Year Award to Dr. Azar Ahmed. Dr. Ahmed would like to say a few words.
All right. Don't worry, this isn't my speech. These are just the notes that Benji Hensel took during the last hour of our last shift together. Let me start by saying that I'm not sure what I did to deserve such a high honor. All this time I was worried I was pushing you guys a little too hard. I thought PA school was hard enough, without having to memorize a 10-page document that would only apply to about 100
hours of your entire life and then become completely obsolete. But maybe I'm up here because I wasn't hard enough on you guys. Maybe I didn't expect enough from you all. Maybe I was a softie. So if anyone is here from the class of 2023, you can thank these guys for making the next rotation harder. I'm kidding. Like I said, PA school is a serious grind, I think. I don't actually know what you guys do with your time. I presume it's similar to medical school. I remember I would watch lectures from home. It was 4 hours of lectures, played at 1.7 times the speed, and somehow it took me 8 hours. You do the math. I would rewind and replay Jeremy Stinson's undergraduate mentor teaching me about the red nucleus, which I have thought about 0 times at work since graduating medical school 5 years ago today. Then I would make it into a flashcard. Then 2 hours on Botzinger and pre-Botzinger complexes. Just as I would start to get focused, I would have to hop on my bike with my white coat acting as a butt flap to get a full family history from fake elderly patients. No, not like Instagram fake, but like frenemy fake. Later, I would study for an 8-hour standardized exam where ornithine transcarbamylase deficiency was supposed to be more important than orbital wall fractures. So, of course, that PowerPoint presentation that my preceptor had assigned for asking a question during rounds would have to wait until the next day. Then, as I would start microwaving dinner, I would realize that I missed breakfast and lunch, and that my bladder was full enough to require a Foley for decompression. And that's when I realized I was ready to do emergency medicine. The point is that you all have juggled a lot to get through these past 27 months. Many of you have made sacrifices along the way for the sake of your training, and I want to commend each of you for every sacrifice that you've made. Your families have made sacrifices as well, and I'd like to take a second to wish all of the mothers and the grandmothers a happy belated Mother's Day. Hopefully this will act as a transition point for your families. This is when the fathers in the audience look up from reading about the Capitals Game 5 collapse to see if I'll mention them as well. As you enter the workforce, I want to tell you a few things you should already know. I just want to be real with you for a few minutes. Work is not supposed to be fun. It shouldn't suck, though. Some of you are still deciding what you will be doing in a few months. Do your comparisons, but realize that small details are likely to be somewhat dynamic. Think big picture. You will create your own happiness in whatever you choose, in whatever location you choose. And remember that our line of work is work. It's not a day at the theme park. Well, there may be roller coasters, but there won't be cotton candy or funnel cake. Be an advocate for your own mental health. Advocate for adequate time to do the work you need to do and the compensation that you should get for the time that you spend working. Don't just complain, come up with solutions that can benefit patient care. The happier that you are at work, the better that you will be with patients. My wife and I went to a wedding a few weeks ago. Our hotel check-in was at 3 p.m. and the shuttle was leaving at 4:10 p.m. We got there at time of check-in, and they told our group of 4 rooms that none of them had been cleaned yet. They told us that they were understaffed. Actually, I think Philip Bly was our shuttle driver that day, so you can ask him how angry the wives were about getting ready in one room in 30 minutes. Right, Philip? That was you, right? Or was it catastrophe actor Rob Delaney? The point is that there is a push to get workers to do more in less time. This is a problem everywhere. There's nothing humane about Amazon workers, warehouse workers, urinating in bottles to meet productivity goals. Teachers should be paid for the time that they spend attending mandatory meetings, and flight attendants should be paid for helping passengers board. And there's certainly nothing safe about pushing providers to see more patients in less time. You will be one of a select few people who can perform the job at your particular site. You may not be able to leave work when something comes up. So when Andrew Stark calls from his side hustle with animal control telling you that your dog was found wandering the street while the rest of your family's on vacation, be prepared to troubleshoot from work. You may need to call up Paul and hope that he answers. Be patient with your money. Build up your savings and your credit before you put all your money into Orville Redenbacher stock, Sabina. The pandemic showed that no job is safe and no number of hours is guaranteed. Some of you will look to buy a house for the first time. Here's a crash course on that. A mortgage is like a student loan for a house. Once your credit is pulled once for a particular reason, others can pull your credit within 15 days without affecting your credit score. So if Madison wants to pull your credit, make sure your application to McKenna, Vicky, and Carolyn are in at around the same time. Be prepared for some upfront expenses, not just for your down payment. You'll need some money for an inspection. If your inspection recommends a specialty inspection by Benjamin Kutchin's Kitchen Checkers, get it done and make the seller fix any problems they catch. Sign up for homeowner's insurance and find a title company before you close. Expect up to 60 days before you can move in. Until then, you can stay with Abby or Porter. No need to ask permission ahead of time. For a lot of you, this weekend symbolizes a transition to a freedom you have not had in 18 years. Take advantage of this freedom to make your own curriculum and learn on your own time. I urge you to be deliberate about this, to maintain a structured approach. I don't want to see any of you prescribing ivermectin for COVID in 5 years. Those of you who have rotated with me know that I tend to walk out of the patient's room without formally closing the conversation.
Thank you very, very much. You can tell doctors are used to taking patient histories. When we get a chance to talk, we just keep talking. So I would like to have Professor Adey come forward and present the Pi Alpha Award.
Well, I have to follow that. So let's give it a try. So good evening, everyone. It's great to see so many smiling faces here celebrating the accomplishments of the class of 2022. As you already know, I'm one of the newer faculty members in our PA program here. I started in January of last year and came into my position with this fine group of students having just one semester remaining in the classroom. To say they made this job feel worth it is an understatement. They were welcoming, supportive, inquisitive, and let's just say they taught me a few things along the way. Being here this evening as part of the next step in their journey means more to me than they know. It is with great pleasure that I get to present on behalf of our PA faculty the Pi Alpha Honor Society Awards. The Pi Alpha Honor Society was organized in 2004 by the Association of Physician Assistant Programs for the promotion and recognition of significant academic achievement, leadership, research, community and professional service, and the encouragement of a high standard of character and conduct amongst PA students and graduates. To be eligible for this prestigious award, students must maintain a minimum of a 3.5 GPA and demonstrate excellence in one or more of the following areas: research, publishing, community and professional services, or leadership activities. We are proud to recognize 4 graduates from the class of 2022. I will present these awards in alphabetical order. Abigail Mondra. Carly Ann Morris. Caitlin Shepley. Madison Ward. The motto of Pi Alpha is scholarship, service, leadership. And the organization has a strong commitment to lifelong learning and participation in intellectual life. To our inductees from the class of 2022, welcome to the Pi Alpha Honor Society.
It's now time for the class of 22 video. I believe that you've put something together. These usually make me cry, so those people at home, it's time to get out your hankies. saw the casts and splints there. My wife just got a cast on her hand, and my daughter looked at it and said, "Your students can do much better than that." And I was like, darn straight they can. All right. Today, we celebrate your growth over the past 2.5 years. You guys are pretty amazing. We celebrate your resilience and to complete a PA program during a pandemic. Not only have you survived, you have made a difference in this community, and you have blossomed as healthcare providers. The faculty welcome you as colleagues. That's a big deal. I hope you recognize that. And all of us, friends and family, we celebrate the start of your journey. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, faculty, staff, friends, and family, I present to you the Mary Baldwin Murphy Deming PA Class of 2022. Thanks. That's it. I believe there's a reception upstairs to the right, and then just help yourself mingle, make yourself at home.